Today, we're diving into one of the most groundbreaking and underrated masterpieces in science fiction, The Stars, My Destination, written by Alfred Bester in 1956. This novel is often called the greatest cyberpunk book before cyberpunk even existed. It's fast-paced, violent, and deeply philosophical, a story of revenge, transformation, and human potential. But before we get into the story, let's talk about the man behind the book. Alfred Bester was born in 1913, and while he's not as widely recognized today as Asimov or Clarke, his work shaped the modern science fiction landscape in ways few writers have. In the 1940 and 50, Bester wrote for pulp sci-fi magazines, but he also worked in radio, television, and comics. He even wrote for Superman and Green Lantern. His sharp cinematic writing style set him apart. Unlike many sci-fi writers of his era, Bester wasn't just interested in technology, he was interested in people. His stories were filled with intense emotions, psychological depth, and flawed, complex characters. Then, in 1956, he wrote The Stars, My Destination, and everything changed. The novel is set in the 25th century, in a world where humanity has colonized the solar system. But the biggest breakthrough isn't in spaceships or AI, it's in teleportation. In this future, humans have developed a skill called jaunting, the ability to teleport anywhere they can visualize. At first, only a few people can do it, but soon, the entire human race learns to jaunt. Suddenly, the world has no need for cars, planes, or even spaceships for short distances. Society is completely transformed. But even with all this power, humanity hasn't changed much. There's still war, greed, and oppression. The rich and powerful use their wealth to control the masses, and the solar system is divided between corporate warlords and powerful ruling families. And in this world, there's one man, a nobody, who is about to change everything. Meet Gully Foyle, our protagonist, or maybe our anti-hero. He's not a noble space captain, not a genius scientist, not a chosen one. He's just an ordinary man, a crude, violent, uneducated mechanic working on a spaceship called Nomad. When the story begins, Foyle has been stranded in deep space for 170 days. His ship is a wreck, and he's the only survivor. He's clinging to life, barely staying sane, when suddenly, a miracle. A passing ship, the Vorga, comes into view. He signals for help, and the Vorga just keeps going. They see him, and they leave him to die. This moment breaks him. He was just a man trying to survive, but now he has one singular purpose: revenge. With sheer rage and willpower, he repairs his ship, gets back to Earth, and starts his mission to hunt down the crew of the Vorga and make them pay. But here's where things get interesting. Foyle isn't just any man. There's something inside him, something waiting to be unlocked. Foyle's journey is one of complete transformation. At first, he's an animal, driven by pure instinct and vengeance. But as he fights his way through the system, through prisons, gang wars, high society, and brutal betrayals, he evolves. He goes from a dumb brute to a genius strategist. He learns to control his rage, his body, and even his mind. And eventually, he discovers something even greater. You see, most people can only jaunt short distances. But Foyle? He unlocks something far beyond. He gains the ability to jaunt through space itself, a power no human has ever possessed. And now he's not just looking for revenge, he's looking for justice. The final act of the book is pure chaos. Foyle destroys everything in his path, bringing down the most powerful people in the solar system. But in the process, he realizes something. Revenge isn't enough. He's more than just a man seeking payback. He's the key to the next step in human evolution. By the end of the book, Foyle doesn't just change himself, he changes humanity itself. He gives the power of interstellar jaunting to the entire species. Overnight, humans are no longer trapped in the solar system. They can teleport to the stars. The last line of the book says it all. Stars, take me home. So why does this book matter? Why do so many sci-fi writers call it one of the greatest novels ever written? Because The Stars, My Destination was ahead of its time. It's the first true cyberpunk novel. Before William Gibson, before Blade Runner, before Neuromancer, the gritty, corporate-controlled world, the powerful, mega-rich families, the rebellious anti-Heave, it's all here. It's a revenge story on a cosmic scale, blending the themes of The Count of Monte Cristo with science fiction. It's also blending the themes of The Count of Monte Cristo with science fiction. It influenced some of the greatest sci-fi works of all time, from The Expanse to Altered Carbon to Star Wars. It's about human potential, about how anger, pain, and suffering can fuel evolution. And yet, unlike Dune or Foundation, it's not as famous. But it should be. For years, people have tried to turn The Stars, My Destination into a movie or TV series, but it's never quite happened. Maybe it's too complex, maybe it's too dark, but one thing is certain. This is a book that demands to be read. So, if you love sci-fi, if you love cyberpunk, if you love raw, powerful storytelling, you owe it to yourself to read The Stars, My Destination. Because in the end, just like Gully Foyle, we're all searching for our place in the stars. Have you read The Stars, My Destination? What did you think of it? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more sci-fi deep dives.